What up everybody, it's your boy Young Fizz, aka Mr.Dopestatus on Instagram, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm about to show you guys how I made this beat using the machine. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and please do not forget to turn on the bell notifications so whenever I drop a new video, you will be the first person to be notified. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video, which is breaking down the beat inside a machine. Let's go. Alright, so the first thing I want to start with is the bass line, which is a massive bass. Let me pull that on the screen there. And it's just pretty simple. It's just something like that goes a little bit something like this here. And then I have the second bass, which is just a little thicker bass. And I added an EQ, metaverb, and that's another massive bass here. And that is this patch right here called dry and wet. So I'm gonna play that first by itself, and then I'm adding the other bass. All right, and now let me add in this other bass here. All right, so now once I had the bass line, I pretty much wanted to add some chords just to kind of get the track moving a little bit. So I added this patch here, and this is another patch from Massive. So this one is called Athens by Night, and it gives off this vibe right here. So once I got all that together, I pretty much, started adding some like other little elements. So I'm gonna play everything all together here now so you understand what's going on with the track. So that's pretty much the groove that I had working there. The next thing I want to kind of talk about is the other elements, kind of building up the track. So I'm just gonna skip to section A here, and then I'm gonna talk about this bass a little bit. So another bass patch, just added a metaverb, and this is another massive patch here. And as you can see, it's called Robot Bass. And let's listen to what that's doing. Let me loop this here. So just kind of giving that dance vibe, and then I added some brass hits here as well. And let's listen to what that's doing with the track. So really just kind of layering everything together, so it's just making the sound a little bit thicker. And then I added another element such as the sub bass here. And I actually got this bass from my Phantom, so you can see where it's in audio mode, and I just recorded it in. So that's the bass I'm using here. All right, and then I added some more elements such as the effects, and that's on a separate group. And this sounds a little bit something like this here. And then we start to get into some of the drum elements, such as like this reverse cymbal here. So I'll just play a little piece of that. And that one just kind of goes away because the tape stopped, but let me go ahead and play it from right here. So that's like a transition sound. It just kind of crescendos into that hook there, the pre-hook. And when I get to the hook, I just kind of fill everything up. So I'm using something like this arpeggio here that I created using my Phantom. And let's go ahead and just mute this by itself to see what that's sounding like. So I'll just go ahead and keep this in here. And with the original sound with no effects, I'm gonna take off the effects so you understand what I started with no effects here. All right, and let's listen to it now. And then I added a beat delay. maximizer. Filtered it out just a little bit. A phaser. Metaverb. Compressor. Last but not least, I added a grain delay, which kind of adds a little bit of movement here. So if we add those elements back in, this is what we're kind of getting here. And that's, of course, is on the hook there. So the next thing, we got the effects. Let's talk about the lead here. I got this lead pad sound here, and that's just kind of add just another little, introducing another element to the track. And then right after that, I introduced another element, which is this lead here. And that goes a little bit something like this here. So I got that really processed. Let me go ahead and take out some of these other instruments so we understand what this lead is doing here. So let's play that back one more time. So I added a compressor. Then a saturator. Last but not least, an EQ, just to kind of cut through the mix a little bit more. So we add those elements back in, except the drums, which I'm about to talk about in just a second here. This is what we're kind of getting here. All right, so now, last but not least, we have the slap drums, is what I like to call them. And we're just gonna go ahead and mute that again. And we're gonna solo these drums here. And this is what I have as far as the verse. Let's just go ahead and start off with the verse. So very simple drums, not too much programming going on. I'm really relying on the melody to make the track kind of talk to people. So let's start off with the 808 here. So the 808 is just kind of following the bass drums. So the next thing I added was a kick. Just kind of adding some support to that 808. Then of course I have the clap. A little bit of saturation and reverb on the clap, so if I took that off. Of course, the open hat, and then we have the hi-hat here. Then I have the cymbal hit, the tss. And then, of course, on the 808, I have the compressor, saturator, clap, you know, saturated reverb. Not really doing anything to the hi-hats except this one here. I have a little beat delay, just kind of giving it some space. Let's explore that just a little bit more. So we're going to solo that a little bit. So something like that there. And then down here I have something called extra claps. It's something I added in a little bit later just to kind of break up the music a little bit. So I'm just gonna put all these elements back in, and we're gonna mute this track here because I don't need these two. And we're gonna listen to what those extra claps are doing right here. So So that's pretty much the track. You know, last but not least, I have some elements that kind of, you know, when you get over to this section here, I'm using the clips just empty channel as a mute. And I talk about this a lot in my other tutorials. If you guys definitely go check out my playlist for machine tutorials, I talk a lot about the machine and how to do these mutes here. And then the outro, of course, I have this poly drip, and it was a sound that I created inside the Phantom. And yeah, that's pretty much the track. Hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of the beat. Your boy Young Fizz. Like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in. We out.